Hello, this is an exciting game played in the Osaka League where white won by 22.5 by killing the top right cornerstones and also the group on the side. But the big highlight of this game is actually the life and death situation in the top where black could kill all those white stones and keep the corner alive. Also, before passing and counting, black could play in the top left corner b19 and this leads to a seki. When white blocks to keep the eye shape, black will just play a18. So now both black and white have an eye, and if white plays b18, then black will go Atari inside, and this creates a shortage of liberties, Dame Tsumari, where if white captures, black takes everything. So white needs to leave the position like this. Or black plays a throw-in, then makes the eye, so then it's a seki. Well, anyway, having 5-6 extra points still doesn't really change the outcome of the game. So let's have a look from the beginning. Sansan, Fred's favorite opening, then diagonal Fuseki with a 5-3. This will lead to a complicated game from the start. That's nice to see. And then attack the top left corner. Nothing wrong to play the low approach, but black can also step up to the fourth line. Of course, this move leads to different Josekis, but if white simply plays the most basic one, the simple variation to keep the corner, then it's nice for black to complete the Joseki in the direction of c5. So black will end up with a moe on the left side. Now here white played one of the most common pincers, the low and tight one, and black simply jumps. Black can consider the shoulder hit Keima to put pressure on the top, and here white can push, cut, and go for the stone in the top. Then black again develops on the left side, where black originally wants to set up the moe. Also, one of my favorite moves in this particular case is not to react directly, to go out with a one space jump or put pressure. It's more interesting to play a move like g17 or g16. Then white usually attaches to separate black stones and cover in order to capture the c15 stone on the left side. Then black extends towards the top, white adds another move, and now black is tempted to play, for example, a shimari or attack the other corner. Well, the attack in the other corner can also be the direct Sansan invasion. So that's an option. And many times here, when black extends in the top at k16, white will be active, and instead of adding another move to defend proper in the corner, white will play something like the bottom approach, for example. Then black can also live in the corner. Now when this happens, it's actually quite good for black because white's wall is facing the black formation in the top, and in the end white's wall will be completely meaningless. So it's good to keep in mind that black has the option to discard that stone in the corner first by playing g17 or g16, and then still use the edge of c15 later in the game. Even if white plays a move like c16, at some point black can approach c11 and then it activates the edge again. So if white plays another move, white will end up over concentrated, and if white doesn't do anything, black can come out, hane, and live inside the corner. So that stone can be troublesome for white eventually. Anyway, the common move to separate like this, it's absolutely fine. And there are all kind of josekis. White plays normal, stepping to the fourth line and trying to get ahead. Then black puts pressure. White plays the kosumitsuke. That's also a fine option. This is more like a probe. White wants to see whether black goes down, or hane, or simply allows the connection underneath. So black played this bump, but this is a bit questionable because white can go out at d13 and still separate those stones. So it's more interesting to descend or play the hane. If just hane exchange one time and then block at c13, now when white captures the stone, black can pull back and still catch the stone on the left side. So white will just secure the corner, black gets a lot of thickness on the outside. There is no way for white to escape to the center like this. Going to be captured in a few moves. So it's good to make this exchange. And the Atari is not necessary. It can be played too, but black can skip it and leave the Atari for later. So the bump. Now, normally, white will just go out, turn, push, and simply make a base on the left side. Then decide later whether to play c16 or not. This is the common Joseki. So playing c14 looks a little bit over concentrated, and white simply played away. I mean, as long as there's Aji at d13, black needs to play another move to fix it. So white could actually go out and turn, push a couple of times, then extend, because now there's a cutting point at d14. So black has to fix it by pushing here. If black simply double up, it's a bit slack, but black can protect actively with a push. But in this case, white is still happy because white is getting ahead on the 4th line. So that's why, in the end, if you look at the c14 stone, it feels like a waste. It's more or less a move in a neutral area, so it's not very effective for black to play it. But white plays away, then black puts pressure. Now if black managed to keep center here and then add another move on the left side, like cover d13 or block c12, it's not too bad. Let's see what happens. So put pressure, get ahead, very good. White could push again or jump directly, or play king on the 2nd line, which is the AI favorite move, but usually simply one step ahead. With this Kosumitsuke, black usually goes down or Hane and Atari. Black can play Hane Atari and leave the position like this. Later, it's good to play the tiger mouth or turn or just play away. Because when white captures here, black can still get a lot of thickness on the outside. So white pushes, black stays ahead, that's very good. Now this move is a little bit brave. White is supposed to jump ahead and then think about ways to reduce the left side. But in this position, still very proper for black to play c12. So white plays the pip and black jumps. Yeah, that shows fighting spirit. Actually for black it's very big to turn, g3. If white goes d5, black will cut through. Now if white tries to kill the stones on the left side, black can cut and capture and stay connected. So white needs to protect in the corner, like this, or Kosumi. Anyway, it doesn't really do much to play b4, because black goes out and then there's still a cutting point at c3, which white has to fix. So white will connect solid, then black jumps out. And in this case, white is already surrounded in the corner, so this corner will not communicate with the other stones on the outside. And black had time to protect the left side too. If white pushes like this, black simply stays ahead. Then when white jumps in the middle, black extends for a base on the bottom side. So black is fine with all the groups. Like this, black still allows white the jump at h3. So it's really good timing to turn. Actually, in general, if white doesn't jump out g3 or h3, it's nice to turn and keep the corner locked in. So white jumps and black covers. Okay, that was good. White is supposed to jump here still. I mean, it's okay. White play d6 to see how black reacts and just leave the stone inside the moyo as Aji. So black turns, then white defends, and now black play the Kosumi. This Kosumi, it's not too bad, but the stones at g3, they still need to extend for a base in case they are cut. Black doesn't want to come back and protect on neutral points. That's something to show the fighting spirit. So black is supposed to play L3. If white cuts, black separates, white will push, black gets ahead. But the Kosumi is also a pretty fine option, because in case white cuts, those stones are still under attack. The problem with this Kosumi is that it still leaves some edge around e10. So white came out. White can play a little more flexible here. A jump like this, or a 2-space jump threatening to enter the left side, and then jump along. And again, black has to extend for a base. The white stones in the middle are quite light and not so easy to be surrounded and killed. Now black jumps j5, trying to extend on the bottom and in the same time put some pressure on g7 stones, but it's still nice to extend 3 space away. So black should only look at this formation, g3, g4, and from that kind of formation or shape, it's good to extend 3 spaces along. This is an ideal shape. Now if white comes out either on the right or in the top, it's not a problem. Black can continue on the bottom and build in the open spaces. Playing here, it's obvious that black wants to attack g7, so white should jump out, which just happened. Then black extends o3, but this o3 doesn't really have a nice relationship with j5. If white plays a pincer like this or like this, it's going to separate black stones. When black comes out, white will play a jump also, and then the cut at d5 is still a problem. So black eventually has to come back and connect on neutral points, then white defends. And when we look at this j5, it seems like a wasted move, so not very effective. Well, white played the attach, then no b, and this way black's formation on the bottom is not too bad. Now the stones start to connect. This push from behind is also good because it really connects to j5, so it makes j5 be effective. Normally black can play m4 or m3, but pushing it's also an option. The thing is white can cut n3, and this happened, but after the cut white should also go down. And the idea of sacrificing here is to get outside forcing moves and make sure black will never push at p4. Here white can also play Hane in the head of the stones, and if black blocks, white can double Hane. Because as long as the two stones are on the board, this n2, n3, white is strengthening the double Atari. So black has to pay attention how to protect here. And after white plays all these forcing moves, before connecting here, white can also Hane and Atari to make sure black is not going to push through and cut, and then connect. So white becomes very thick on the right side. So in general, it's good to descend and sacrifice both stones. So this is a basic technique. Extend here, then more forcing moves. If black simply jumps, then Hane, Atari, white is strong, so white doesn't have to play a move like r6, then just attack the top right corner. So white played the Hane right away. Now when black captured, there are several cutting points, so white is supposed to go back and defend against them. This jump still leaves many cuts behind, so for white, either no b in order to try to reach out the center stones, or just jump towards the middle and don't worry so much about the connectivity between m6 and j7 or n6 j7. So white jumps. Black decides to cut this way, but actually the cut at o6 it's appealing, or push and cut like this, or just leave the cuts there. I mean, there are several cutting points, and approach. Play something like r10, because anyway that's the direction for white to develop on the right side. From the wall, white wants to extend. And if white defends r6 to protect a little bit against the cuts are still not 100% protected, so black can still use some of them. But it's not so clear how much black can gain by pushing at k3 and using l7 cut right away. Therefore, black should go for big points right now in the open spaces on the board. So black really wants to fight and cuts immediately. White can play Atari first and then connect. Now somehow black becomes committed here in this fight, and if the fight continues, black may end up with a heavy group, and then black is forced to run out. And in the end, white will secure the middle on the way out, and also get a steady formation and territory on the right side. So this cut probably was a bit hasty or too early. This happened, white jumps in the middle. It's a bit safer for white to jump h10. Then black cuts again, that makes sense. Atari and defend with a bamboo, that's good. Wait a second, so you block Atari. So if black blocks and white cuts, black Atari, white goes out, and black can play Atari here. White connects, black connects. Now if white defends the right side, black will capture everything in the middle. If white comes out, black has Atari, descend in center, and then set up a ladder. This is good for black on the right side. So black can actually block, white has to go down and then jump into the center. easier to make a sabaki on the right. Like this, white is happy to play r7 because of the shape. There's a push and cut, so black can play either the clamp or this double up. Then white can jump out between the groups. This push may be Ajikeshi. Yeah, white has to go out. This cut is not so great because white obviously will sacrifice 2 stones and go for a strong formation in the center. Normally, the combination here in the middle would be to play this attach. If white blocks, black cuts, and then black can capture either 3 stones on the bottom or the other 3. But white might resist, and then when black pushes, white will block, push through, Atari, then Hane. And now it's impossible to cut because of self-Atari. So, black has to find a way to make this Aji work. But first of all, these Q8 stones, they need some help on the right side. And there's a very nice Tsuji on the right side, which is S6. When white comes out, separate and take the S6 stone, black has all those forcing moves on the right side, then extend for a base. And now there's still Aji in the middle. In fact, before extending, black should come out in the center like this. Those stones are important, the 2 stones, because they can still hurt by playing N8 and also attack the J10 group. So when white protects something like this, black can still extend on the right side. Therefore, S6 preparation is really a nice Tsuji for black. If white simply pulls back, not to take all those, accept all those forcing moves on the right side, black will just extend. Now there is still some problem in the middle, where white should add another move, then black can pull back, black gets a lot of potential on the right side, and white's corner is in trouble. So white needs to block, then black can play away. All of a sudden, black builds a lot by sacrificing the 2 stones in the center. And at least this group on the right is not going to suffer. So now white pushes through, this is all forced. And when black captures 2 stones, this group is still 1 eye. Now white has to protect the middle. The proper way would be to take the 2 stones, because black can cut, go out, and so on. And after white captures here, black needs to jump on the right side, or again use the Aji, the clamp, the Tsuji, then go down and everything, and jump even further, like this or like this. But it feels good for white overall, because black was forced to play lots of stones to capture 2. So white jumps somehow between the Sun and the middle group, but it doesn't put so much pressure on the middle. I can just play R11. That's an option too. Well, with R11 it's easier for black to keep I shape. But with this jump, black can actually go M9, come out and try to catch the other 2 stones. That's fine. Well, in order to make eyes, it's usually better to play a move on the lower side, 3rd line, 2nd line. This is how it's easier to build eyes on the edges. That's why black should consider this Tsuji, turn, sacrifice, and extend to the 3rd line. So it's clearly that black will get an eye on the side, and with the eye in the middle, the group will survive. So white still stresses the base here. Well, when black cuts here, white is not going to play Atari like this and push, because black captures the guys. So white has to play a double Atari and black comes out. Now the 2 stones are in trouble, but of course white will run, then black will also jump between the groups. And actually this is good for black, because black will go out also attacking some white stones. So black is not running alone anymore. Like this, white connects and it's more difficult to catch the group. But again, both black and white are running, but it's a bit tougher. That's too ambitious. Black is not strong enough in the center to fight like that. Black should simply play a 1 space jump or attach again to go out with the group on the side, because this group on the right side needs more attention. Seems a bit weaker. So playing all these forcing moves weakens the group on the right even more, and in the end black collapsed on the right side. Atari, Atari, take. So I can play 1 Atari here, go out, then push like this, block, Atari, escape, and just catch the 4 stones. Because even if black separates here, white has 4 liberties against 2. White will push, and the group on the side is still in trouble. So that's a very easy way for white to secure the group in the middle and also catch some stones in order to make profit. Like this, white is still on the run, but now the group on the side is in trouble. So black has to kind of sacrifice it. Well, black can push, play Atari, block, and then try to make an eye, but it's a false eye in the end. So now black has to switch to the middle, and this net seems to be working for now. Yeah, it's a capture. And now there's some pressure on the center group. But the center group has pretty much enough space to survive. It's good enough for white to jump somewhere to the left, and it feels like it's going to have enough room for 2 eyes. Puck. If black cuts, black Atari, white goes out, push, Atari connect also. Black seems to take some profit attacking the group, but it's still hard to kill it. Oops, white can extend here. That was a misclick. So, black blocks, white leaves. Black gets the left side, that's good. And some profit in the top, that's also good. White played really careful in the middle not to lose the group. Actually, the jump is better when black turns white no B, and there's even more eye room in the center. This feels a little bit shy. Black can push, Atari, and then the space shrinks, but still, white has enough room for 2 eyes. So with this move, black puts a lot of pressure in the top. That's a good decision. It's fine just to block right away. Even if white plays Atari, white might add another move to stay safe in the corner, and then black being center can block the right side. Because on the right side, after playing all those forcing moves, white also doesn't have eyes, so white might need another move to secure to make sure doesn't have to play inside. So push and block. Okay, this forces white to play another move. And then this one, very good. Now, if black managed to keep the whole top side, it's enough to win the game. So here, if black blocks, white will play Atari. Black needs to connect. White comes out. Black has to answer. White can push again in center. Black needs to answer again. Then white can try some life in the top. But if white plays here, black will immediately hit the vital point. If white goes like this, black attacks from the other side. If white plays in the top, black comes from the right. Not so easy to make 2 eyes. Actually, that group could die also in the actual game. So black separates, trying to save the guys on the side. But this move, it's an empty triangle and doesn't look so effective. It's better to play S14. If white blocks, then black tries to connect to the corner. If white plays in the corner, black can push under, then play a bamboo connection, and there's still a lot of RG on the right side, so white needs to play something. And now try to activate R17 and remove white's eye shape. So this empty doesn't feel so nice. The block is good. Yeah, white finally adds another move. So if white plays in the corner to leave somehow, for example this turn, black will push, Atari, block, then connect here, threatening to cut. Then let's see how is the liberty situation. Connect like this. Oh, sorry. I misclick move number 7. It should be Atari. So this one is threatening the cut. White is trying to make an eye. Oh, but black. Okay, Atari here. It's always for black. Black and Hane and connect. And this push, black answers everything. When white takes away a liberty, black takes a liberty from the outside. White plays this, take another liberty. Then remove a liberty, Atari connect. and remove another liberty. Ah, white still wins the semi by 1 liberty. It's quite spectacular. Okay, so not easy to escape, even if white plays in the corner. Anyway, now black went for the kill in the top right, and it almost succeeded. Actually, if black kills that group, it's going to win the game. Because in the end, white will only have the territory on the right side, a few points in the middle, a few points in the corner, and, well, in the top left corner in the end could be a Seki. So now, let's focus a little bit in the fight here. First of all, black can Hane in the top, then white has to Nobi, and then invade A17. When black play this move, it's also possible, but it's not really necessary. White goes down, this first, then descend and connect under. Now white seems to have a lot of space, but still not so clear. Now actually for white, R18 it's a Tesuji. If black captures the two stones, white gets to play Atari in Sente and push again in the corner. Now white has enough space to build two eyes. So this would leave. If black goes down to separate Atari and white captures. So like this, white doesn't have enough space. When white pulls back N18, black will just hit the vital point, then Hane and push, and that's only one eye. So this move doesn't help. If white plays N17 to have more space, black will Hane Q19, then when white plays N19, push again, reduce the space from the outside and kill. So white had to go down, but here black can Hane again, and this is only one eye. If this happens, black doesn't even have to do anything. Well, maybe it's okay to connect solid here, just to make sure the Aji it's not going to be too nasty. But locally, when white captures 3 stones, black plays inside, so he's dead. So black missed the chance to kill right now with a Hane and another Hane. So with this move, it's still possible to kill. Here actually, Atari, if double Atari, white will Atari, capture, like this, yeah. Okay, like this white leaves. So black played Atari here, that's fine. Then white played Nobi. That's possible, but it's still better to remove the eye shape from the outside. So in this case, black should play L17 or Hane. Now when black plays L17, the point is to force the eye at N17. So when white goes M19, black will force the eye like this. If white goes Atari, black connects. When white plays the wedge to try to kill the corner, black connects solid. When white goes down, Atari, Atari again, and make life like this. Now luckily the problem is that white can cut, go out, and catch the stones in the top. So still a lot of Aji. What other move? So yeah, it's still better to play N18 and Hane. Now after this move, white play the connection, black connects, that's fine. White makes an eye like this. Black forces the eye. Well, black can play the other move too. White will be forced to play N17, then black goes down. And if white wants to keep the eye, white will put herself in Atari. But the problem is still on the right. The wedge, connect under, Atari, Atari to leave in the corner, and then white cuts. Now if black comes out, white will catch the 4 stones. So that's why it's backup plan to leave. Now the push and block, Atari, Atari, and the wedge. So white it's out. If black cuts, white goes Atari, captures the stones in the top. Black actually has to connect here, but the problem is white can still link under. Black needs to Atari, Atari, and then leave in the top. Now white will catch these guys. If black captures the stone here, white will kill the corner. So it's a bit too late to kill that group right now, but earlier black had a chance. In fact, even if black plays here, White can still play the wedge, Atari connect, connect. Ah, now it's different. Now on this wedge, black connects when Hane, Atari, when white connects, black will take the top. So that's a bit different. But earlier than that, black should Hane. Now if white double Hane, black will cut and capture a stone. And it's very difficult for white to find two eyes. White can play all these moves, black will descend, white has to capture the stone, black Hane in the corner, and then when white goes down, that's only one eye. Or if black plays here, even if white goes down here, black can take away the eye. This is false. So that's a much more clean way to kill in the early phase of the fight. So white captures the two stones instead of connecting under. In this case, white can go down. Because if white tries the Hane, black can start the ko. But well, that ko can backfire. So if white goes down and black cuts, white connects under, black needs to capture the stone in the center, then white will kill the corner. Like this, white doesn't have to go L19. And if white leaves, black leaves in the corner, then white captures these guys and white connects again with a lot of profit. Now white captured P19 because black can go down K19. So let's suppose white plays this, and he doesn't separate. Sorry, she. Then white plays some Yose in Gote, then black can go down. And this move always keys locally because white cannot block at L19 to keep the eye. That's why white took the two stones. So black could catch this guy on the right side. And then when white connects here, black will take a stone. And this way, black keeps the corner connected, but it's still probably slightly a win for white by a small margin. A slight advantage. And now just endgame. Oh, I didn't go down here because black can just leave. Then when white plays this one, oops, black has to cut actually. If black plays here, white can steal Atari and fight the ko. So white played a vital point, which is fine. Then black dies big. Black is supposed to play here and give up the 3 stones in the corner. But black is losing the game, so black had to try everything. Oh, interesting idea. So here, white is actually offering a trade. Strange. Black would take the 2 stones. Now if white cuts or white plays this move, this is going to be Atari. If white goes Atari here, Atari like this, the stones on the side die. So white now has to take the stones on the side. Then black can connect in center. Then push inside the corner to take those stones out also. If white blocks, Atari and capture the corner. Well, this trade might be a little better for black. It's still difficult because black is losing the guys on the right. And well, the corner died anyway. But black is saving this group and kills a bunch of stones on the right. So the trade is quite exciting. Maybe a few points extra for black. Then if black makes the seki in the top left, might even win the game. But now black came back. This is too obvious. Black should push first. Then if white blocks, Atari. So white wins has to go down, black can push again. And now Atari first, then cut, then Atari again. Now here, white has to take a stone and give up the stones on the side. So when white connects, black can play Atari, then capture the stones on the side, and it's a collapse. And if white plays here, black will take these guys, and again, it's a big collapse. So actually, black has a chance to escape here, but must start from the push. If white simply takes the stone on the side, black will go Atari either like this or Atari under. Then black will go Nobi, push again, Atari, Atari, connect. Now white has to leave in the corner and black can go down here. Oh, actually black can go down like this, then Atari, then make the second die. So this was the chance. Black missed a big opportunity to use the Agi on the right side, it seems. The cut, Black captured, and nothing happened. So if push again, White plays here. So Atari, take. Yeah, nothing works anymore. So just small endgame, and that's pretty much it. So very sharp play by White, but in the top left corner, Black could always make a Seki at B19. Well, it seems the revenge has to wait a little bit.